Political parties campaigned in the Metsimaholo Local Municipality in Sasolburg at the weekend. This is ahead of Wednesday's municipal election, which will pit the ANC against its alliance partner, the SACP. Now, the ANC failed to convince its longtime ally to withdraw at a meeting of the Alliance Political Council convened a week ago, and the SACP is contesting all 21 wards. The municipality's coalition government was dissolved earlier this year after it failed to adopt its 2017-2018 budgets. So for more on the developments ahead of Wednesday, let's cross over to our reporter, Nthakoana Ngatane. And Nthakoana is with, obviously, one of her guests. Now, let's talk about the parties that are contesting. Obviously, we spoke about the SACP and the ANC. Is that it, or are there more that are added into the equation as well?
Well, Leanne, as soon as you get into especially Sasolburg, which is the biggest town here in Metsimaholo, you will see posters depicting all the parties that are contesting this election. As you've mentioned, the SACP is among them, the ANC is among them, but also the Democratic Alliance, the EFF, but also the Metsimaholo Civic Association, which was in coalition with the DA and the EFF and the Freedom Front Plus in the government that was collapsed in July. Now, as you've mentioned, the SACP has decided to go it alone. But if I can just go into a few tidbits about Sasolburg, particularly this area, it is an area that was developed following South Africa's decision to manufacture oil from coal from this area by company Sasol, hence the name Sasolburg. But also in the 1970s, this is a town that was bombed by Umkhonto weSizwe, and with the introduction of the National Key Points Act here in South Africa, it is one of the first areas that was designated under that act because of its importance to the economy in ensuring that the country has a lot of reserves in terms of energy. But as you've said, here to talk to us about the decision to go it alone is the SACP's Provincial Second Secretary, and that is Mojalefa Simango. Ndate, just tell us, why as the SACP did you not feel that you could make amends with the ANC in order to reclaim, as you say, this municipality?
The South African Communist Party is not necessarily going alone. There are organizations that we have been working with in the area, targeting Sasol firm that you have mentioned about. Our feeling as the South African Communist Party is that Sasol must come back to the hands of the people of South Africa, because as things stand now, it's a foreign company which is not benefiting largely people of Metsimaholo and people of Free State and South Africa at large. So we have been in a number of campaigns, including that one, to reclaim our Sasol bank. But for these elections, the South African Communist Party, like I said, is contesting with organizations that we have been working with, unions that we have been working with, NGOs that we have been working with. That is why in our candidature list, it is not only SACP members. We have pastors who have been working with the SACP, you have NGOs, like I indicated, and some of those that are unions from this municipality, among others, were dismissed following their protest against some of the things that were happening that were against them. But moving forward, the decision of the South African Communist Party in its 14th National Congress was that the SACP must actively contest elections. And that decision, it is now being realized. But in coming to Metsimaholo, it was informed by the rampage and misery dismissals of more than 320 workers. And you'll know that the South African Communist Party, we're an organization that is born out of the blood and the sweat of workers. And if workers are going to be ill-treated, or if there's going to be any employer in South Africa that is against or anti-workers, like we have seen by the management of Metsimaholo, then you are then tumbling with the Communist Party to say the Communist Party must contest elections and fight you back.
But of course, one wants to know now, is this an indication of things to come? Are we going to see the SACP going forward and contesting elections on its own when it comes to the 2019 elections, for instance?
Definitely, if there will be a continuous anti-workers agenda, if there will be a continuous anti-community services, the Communist Party will have to rise and defend these workers. Remember, the Communist Party develops workers. The Communist Party must protect these workers. And in the process that the work of the Communist Party as a working class organization, it is being undermined. It means the Communist Party must confront all the ills that will be undermining workers, including communities at large. So if the agenda is not going to stop, workers are going to be dismissed like we have seen in the Free State. Many sub-stewards in the municipalities and provincial governments, in our own government, then it means the Communist Party must think differently and take things differently as we have started here.
Well, how has it been going against the ANC on the campaign trail?
We are contesting elections. We are not contesting the ANC, because the same question you can ask about other blue organizations, orange organizations. We are contesting elections, contesting the state, and hence the resolution of the Communist Party on the state and popular power. The Communist Party has been invited to contest elections here by the workers who were dismissed, among others, and different sections of workers. For example, in Omnia, workers in Sasol are still ill-treated, and it is part of those people who have said, Communist Party, in the situations that we are confronted, we believe your presence will help us. And the communities have invited us to say the poor service deliveries, among others, that rose out of the dismissal of workers, come and contest. We have lost confidence in the current leadership in the municipality.
In the event that you don't get enough seats to form a government on your own, who are you willing to go into coalition with? I'm
sure since we have entered Metsimaholo, you have seen the real red Communist Party being all over, being supported by even ordinary people who are not members of the Communist Party, like I indicated. Our intention, we entered these elections to lead the municipality. We are not in these elections for coalition. It is going to be the first municipality that has the South African Communist Party. We are going to contest.
Well, there you have it, the SACP saying it is confident that it will get the majority seats needed. There are 42 seats. It's a mixed member proportional system here. So 21 seats come from the wards and the other 21 seats come from the proportional representation. And they say that they are confident that they will form government on their own, and that will mean that they will need to get more than 50% of that 40. The ANC has gone down in the previous government, local government elections of 2011. They had 26 seats and they went down to 19, which is why they couldn't form a government in the previous local government elections of 2016, and therefore the DA, the EFF, the Metsimaholo Civic Association and the Freedom Front Plus ended up forming a coalition, which is something that the SACP says they're not going to do. Later on in the day, we'll talk to the other parties that are contesting the election. We'll also talk to the economic situation of Metsimaholo as it is, and we'll talk about how it is here in Metsimaholo going forward to the elections on Wednesday. Back to you, Leanne.
All right, thank you very, very much for that update as to what's happening in the Free State, and particularly in Sasolburg. Nthakoana Ngatane reporting for us live. All right, let's